what that work was all about, and having to learn how to process them, send samples over to all those different countries, and so on. And I trained Raffield's fishery over here of how to do that, and they sort of grabbed on, and I envisioned the way it would work in Malaysia and a lot of other things with lots of cottage industries of people having their own vats of jellyfish and buyers coming around, but that's not how we do things in America. We have to have big corporate grab and take it here and happening elsewhere. Nevertheless, I am now processing jellyfish for burn treatments. If you get a bad burn and you take a jellyfish, you put it on there. Jellyfish is 100% collagen, and it does absolutely wonderful things for skin. If you have arthritis, you eat jellyfish. It really makes a huge difference. It's very good for bronchitis. It's good for a number of different things. In Chinese, there's the two opposing forces of the yin and the yang, right? Yin being the dark force, yang being the light force. Well, jellyfish is the light force. The yang is very much of a yin food. So that if you have a stomach and taking a Prilosec and all the other crap, and I do that, I have a bad stomach and I take that stuff a lot, but a piece of jellyfish is as good as the Prilosec. And with a lot less.
Does it help wrinkles?
Huh?
Does it help wrinkles?
It does actually help your skin a lot. I mean, you know, you get a lot of.
We might have.
I do.
Okay, where do we
Where
do we buy this?
It looks sort of strange. Right over here off the boats, fresh is best.
Okay, what you do with a jellyfish is you arrive at a salted product that looks like a pancake. I'm going on too long.
Go ahead, I'm loving it.
So anyway,
You're live. We'll put this on YouTube tomorrow.
Good.
All right, so then what you do is you take your pancake.
So it's strictly the jelly on the outside, the inside has no value?
Yes, it does. The inside does have value, but it's about half price or less. Okay, but they like the round umbrella. And their jellyfish, by the way, is a species called Rhopalima, which gets to be about this big. You know, it's a great big thing, and we get something like that washed up on the shore here in the wintertime. But Cannonball is a little round thing, and I have actually pictures of me and the Minister of Fisheries holding up my little cannonball, and he's holding up one of his great big, Rhopalimas. But anyway, what you do is you soak it in fresh water. It's the ridiculous part about it is it all ends up with little chopped stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter how big the jellyfish is, although they put a lot of importance to that. Then you soak it overnight, change the water on it a couple of times, wring out, and there should be no salt or alum taste to it. Salt and alum is what it takes to basically do that. Then what you do is put in some sesame oil, a little rice vinegar, some people add sugar, a little salt, sesame seeds I said, and some soy sauce. And then what they do is serve it often at every wedding, graduation, big deal event. Cucumbers are served in sort of this big rotary thing around it, and there's this little pile of jelly.
It'll be the next Wednesday up the creek special, right?
It should be. It should be. And then when you bite into this stuff, it goes crunch, and if it has a crunch, it's called music to the teeth. And then, so I'm very proud to see this thing going, whether they believe it all came from all that or not. But,
Interesting.
it's not industry that started,
I remember Raphael processing the Cannonball.
I trained them session in '92 with Raphael. I brought all the stuff over, ordered the island of salt, and got the whole thing.
So they've been doing it continuously?
Well, jellyfish have a boom and bust, and this is the biggest year we have ever seen jellyfish, of cannonballs, ever. And I don't think that's necessarily a good sign for the ocean.
And how do they taste it on?
A properly prepared jellyfish has no taste of its own.
Oh. So it's picking up all the
Picking up, it's a beautiful carrier.
Like tofu, yeah, that's what.
So when I was, just recently I was up at MIT and the Shriner Children's Burn Hospital, and I carried my cannonball up there with them. And the way, actually the old Materia Medica in Chinese, about 1,000 years old, talks about jellyfish as a burn treatment.
They cut off the tentacles?
Yeah, the first thing thing you do when you get a cannonball is they have 4 openings, 4 holes in the top of the thing, and you sort of stick, it's kind of gross. You stick your fingers between them and you go tear, 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 and the cord drops out, and then you have the umbrella. The umbrella is the pricier part. Okay, and yeah, that's exciting. Okay.
So what's
Uh,
how much is that stuff going for?
Our little wheels are moving.
That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
find
that
out
look.
now. At one point, it was a couple of dollars a pound for finished jellyfish. So in other words, if you have 100 pounds of jellyfish that you just catch out of the bay with water, by the time you process it, you have 20 pounds. So it has straight water. No, they never want to freeze the jellyfish.
How much do these guys get? 50 cents a pound on that?
What I'm hearing is they're getting like 5 cents a pound. And I've heard different figures. But still, when you go out there, you drop that net down, you make that tow, and you load it up, they're making money.
That's what we saw.
Yeah. And when they're dragging all these jellyfish, consider this: one cannonball jellyfish eats on the average 60,000 prey items per day. So it's eating its weight in oysters, it's eating its weight in anchovies, it's eating its weight in larval shrimp, it's eating its weight in copepods and plankton. And these are, and the Latin name for a cannonball is Thermophilus miliagris, which means many-mouthed hunters. And these things, the way it does is it pulses along. It's the fastest moving jellyfish in the world. Nothing outswims a cannonball in the jellyfish row. And when it sucks the water in, it has all these little plates underneath it in the mouth, which it sucks. It flushes the water through it, and each of it sucks out the plankton as it goes. And it's also releasing sperm and egg, depending on which sex it is. And so when it pulses out, it keeps the food in and it shoots its wastes out. And it's a marvel of total efficiency.
Wow.
But the fact is that the medical attributes of this thing we're just beginning. As far as I'm concerned, that's an interesting industry there, but with proper capitalization and everything else, the biotech of this thing, aspects of it, as far as surgery, implants and everything else, is way ahead. Anyway,
Cool.
Cannonballs.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Jack.